Do you think Vin Diesel has it in him to make another successful action movie franchise? So this week we watched The Last Witch Hunter with Vin Diesel. And this movie was something I was extremely excited to see. I'm a big Vin Diesel fan. There's something about an action movie hero that's also a nerd that just is amazing. It's like I live vicariously through him as a big nerd because I can never be an action hero. But being a fan of Vin Diesel, I was really excited about this movie. Seeing the movie, I have kind of mixed emotions. They created this amazing world, this fascinating world, and then they just filled it with cliches. It's like the story should have had more to it. I feel like it should have been a longer movie. I feel like some of the pieces in the movie and some of the scenes in the movie needed to be, expanded a little bit so we can know a little bit more about what's going on. It's almost like they're rapid fire throwing terms at you and rapid fire throwing ideas at you without allowing any of them to be explained or to sink in. Normally that's okay because they show you just what you need to know to get through the movie and get to point, but I feel they didn't really give you enough of what they were doing for you to really understand the point. Obviously, I can't speak too much more deeply about that because I don't want to spoil it for anybody that wants to see it. I feel like they were so concerned in getting that runtime as short as they can, and they were so concerned about setting it up for the possibility of a sequel because, big surprise, they always set it up for the possibility of a sequel, that they lost some of the impact they could have had if they would have made it more serious. Maybe darker. I am by no means against them doing a sequel. I enjoyed the movie enough where I would want to see another one. But at the same time, I feel like there could have been more. Yeah, it was good, but it could have been great. The acting was good. Vin Diesel, without him being behind a wheel and without him just saying Groot over and over again, still did an amazing job. So I was impressed with him being able to move out of his comfort zone and do something else. Pretty much only seen him play the same kind of cliche role, whether he's a mobster or a diehard Wall Street, go-get salesman, or he's, his character from Fast and the Furious. It's still the same mindset and the same character. I think what really makes this movie pop, and I think the strong point of this movie, aside from this amazing world they created, was the special effects. I'm by no means a special effects expert, but as someone that just watches a lot of movies, I was extremely impressed by some of the effects they did with the magic, some of the effects they did with the fauna and everything growing around them, and I was impressed by it. They seem to not skimp on those aspects. They seem to really go all the way. Sometimes with these movies, you find that some of the effects look extremely fake, and you're like, well, there's where they cut a budget part, and they're like, we better just save some money. But in this one, it didn't feel that way. It felt like each of the scenes were given the due diligence, and they looked the part. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this movie an 8. Now, the problem that really is weighing on me is I feel that this movie could have been a 10. This movie could have been a classic. From the world they created and the picture they painted, I just feel that they dropped the ball. Take out the cliche lines, take out the predictability, don't just make it they could have just not made it a cookie-cutter action film, and I think it would have done really well for itself. So let's see what our other witch hunters have to say.
I enjoyed this movie. I thought it had a good beginning and it kept going and it kept me on my seat and watching it. I was enjoying it and I liked it. I mean, I remember Vin Diesel as Riddick and I thought he did really well as one of those, characters kind of a superhero but villain at the same time. He had a weird vibe to him and I liked it. So I went into this movie expecting quite a bit. Was I totally disappointed? Not really. But I do feel like this movie could have been way more. And by that I mean lengthen it. Even just try to make it so there's maybe something else instead of just cutting it off like it did in a way to me. I feel like I honestly sat there and missed a good hour and a half of a movie that ended in 45 minutes is what I feel like. And then at the same time, I felt like that the characters kind of sped off all of a sudden and there was less of them even though you saw a ton of them. I don't know, I just felt like everything was just kind of going from this white picture to a tunnel. There's not much I can really say more other than ruining the movie, but I mean, it was a good movie. I liked it because it was action-packed. I had a fun time, so it wasn't a horrible movie. I just felt like there, of course, could have been way more.
Your run-of-the-mill witch hunting movie, like Hansel and Gretel, but I like that one better. Vin Diesel was the only decent actor in this. The others were a bit cliche. Not their fault necessarily, you can blame that on the screenplay, but the visuals were spectacular. The cinematography, the visual effects, and some of the art direction. But it's full of cliches. You got the main bad guy all ugly, evil. I'm just like, whatever, seriously? I liked Hansel and Gretel way better because at least they avoided certain cliches and it was something a little more original. Based off an old fairy tale, but they still added with it, added a storyline to it, added more depth, something different. This was just, I don't know. So elements like music, editing, and pacing, the narrative, not bad but not good, nothing special, just a run-of-the-mill popcorn movie. If you're a Vin Diesel fan, you'll love this movie. Vin Diesel, he kicked some ass in this movie. He was really good at it. I wasn't rolling my eyes thinking, are you serious? Vin Diesel, what happened to you? But no, he's still going at it strong, as best as he can with a screenplay like this, but full of plot holes. Like, why this, why that, how could that have happened?
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this and why?
I'm going to give this a 6. I would give it a lower score, but it was visually interesting enough that I was thinking I did not enjoy myself.
I'm gonna give it an 8, and the reason being is because I did enjoy myself, but not a great 10 where I'm like, bragging about this movie every second of my life.
So we want to know, what is your favorite supernatural movie? Go ahead and leave your answer down in the comment section below, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see more reviews every week. And as always, we're letting you know before you go at Brennan Theaters.